Yo, what's up, Necro Gamers? Today we're looking at some Shadowplay clips. I played Shadowplay over a week ago, and just to give you an idea of what comps we keyed into and stuff like that, we fought a lot of Rogue Mage, Resto Shaman KFC, which is the only team we lost to, I guess. We fought another Shadowplay, and then ultimately Ret Warrior at the end. So we'll take a look at that and get into some gameplay. Basically just going to straightforward go through things and commentate it, tell you what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Other news, I have an EU Shadowpriest that is in the process of being geared, so I'm currently at 1900. I can get Rival 2 gear, but most of my gear is Challenger, so I just need some Honor, and then once I farm that up, I should be queuing 3s on EU, so look forward to that. If you want to do any RBGs or something to help me get geared, hit me up, I'm down. So yeah, let's jump into it right away. When the gates open, make sure you get your Necro gaming going. Your Fleshcraft shield is increased if you do it after the gates are open, so you can time it so that it ends after the gates are open. Just a Necro pro tip. As for the opener, I'm kind of looking to get the mage out, but I realize maybe I wasn't there quite in time. The most important thing is just to play in this beautiful triangle formation. So in the opener, we really want to space out here. Check this out. We have Smexon right here, me right here, Druid right here. So we got what is called the triangle formation. This is a pretty weak triangle. This is a little bitch triangle. Ultimately, you can make the triangle a lot bigger. If Smexon was maybe playing on the gate, that's good as well, because all we need to do is not get stunned by multiple targets and make it hard for the rogue to like instantly CC the Druid when he comes out. So good job by us spacing out right here. I'm going to be able to spam Gateway if I need it. I'm actually spamming Panda because why not? So I'll Panda the Rogue. He stuns him too, kind of unfortunate. I think the mage gets kicked on sheep, so we know we can free cast in this situation. There's a lot of moments where it's hard to actually get cast off against RMP because look, they're already at the pillar. They're all 3 pillaring and the game has just started. So knowing when you can cast and when you can't is super important. We'll just take a look back and make sure that he does get kicked on sheep. Polymorph, so the mage is interrupted on Polymorph right now. This means I can free cast, the rogue is stunned. Know when you can cast and when you can't cast. I don't want to use Damnation yet, just because I know that they're going to have 2 interrupts ready for me in just a few seconds, and being able to quickly apply dots after someone gets dispelled, or maybe even dotting someone you haven't dotted yet, is going to be really important. So getting my damage out early, Unholy Nova, Void Form. We even silence the mage so that he can't CS me. I think that is my mindset here. This is just something that, you know, even if I silence the priest here, if I get kicked on the this void form with PI up, I'm going to be the saddest person ever. So I silence the mage. He can't blink away. I mean, I didn't really need to silence him to get the cast off, but sometimes that is an option that I do. And silencing also prevents him from using alter time, prevents him from blinking or kiting or putting up more shields. So there's just a lot of stuff you can do to shut the mage down in this matchup, and I think kicking Polymorph is probably the most important one in the opener if you can. Get the block off. If you're the priest, the mage has no kick, the rogue has no kick. I'm able to freely cast and dot them both. Check this out. So I am in a smoke bomb. I have Trinket Fade and I have Disperse. It's better for me to disperse before I Trinket, because if they go Druid, I need my Trinket to save the Druid. I'm also, like, they're all freaking out because I'm getting maledicted, but I'm playing Battlemaster, and I'm able to Battlemaster with the either Mind Games or Maledict on me, and it completely stops me from dying. So as soon as their go is over, we go back offensive, try to dot everybody. The mage misses CS, which is really huge. I try to Mind Seer to hit the rogue. Looks like he gets a re-stealth anyway. Now it's time to space out, I think. As soon as they start getting horny, we need to stay spaced. Right now we have a good little triangle here, so if I didn't get re-sheeped here, I could have pre-done something potentially. Now it looks like I don't have fade. So we'll see what goes on here. This may be nothing. I think because we're so far away, he gets the cheap shot and the mage isn't close enough to ring, and this is why it's so important to space out. So we'll highlight this just one more time. We got the Druid here, we got Smexon fucking doing his thing over there. It's going to be really hard for all 3 of us to get cross CC'd if we're spaced out, and we need them to be in the open to land a kill. So me playing near the pillar isn't ideal. Ideally, my ideal positioning is to go back a little further, and then I could still hit them around this area and then Smexon my other triangle. What is that that alt jailer, 3 points where 2 lines meet? Never really made much sense to me, but I think I understand it now just after playing Shadowplay. Yeah, we really want to be spaced out and make it difficult for this team to do goes. The rogue's got no cloak. The mage has no proc. He's got no block. I get kicked here, a little unfortunate, just because you want to be doing the most damage while you're on stun DR. When you're on stun DR, you can be a little bit more aggressive with your positioning, but once it comes time to get stunned, gonna need to space out again. So here I am, off stun DR, let's see what happens. I'm spamming Fade, they cannot pre-CC me, which is sick. I'm gonna be able to fear the rogue and the priest, no, but I get DB'd. Excellent play, so this is gonna be my trinket here for sure. I'm gonna trinket, silence mind games. Kind of fucking troll that I have to swap here, honestly. I feel like double fearing them and silencing the priest should be enough, but the mage commits trinket, so fair enough. That's my trinket swap there, and at least my druid still has his own trinket to save himself. I think druid is probably the most susceptible kill target in this matchup, and him being able to use his trinket last resort I think is the ideal scenario. So my trinket will come back up later, and then I'll be able to save him with like a life grip or maybe some instant CC. This is also the saddest I've ever been, so just take a look at the utility of this void form. I pop void form on the rogue. I get sheeped as it goes off, so no damage is coming out for me. I get dispelled on the sheep into another sheep, and it's just so sad that I don't get to do any damage. Make sure to use that damnation to get dots in the mage. I dotted the priest. I fade and just run away from this rogue to delay this go. I'm flush crafting, so now I'm not really a viable option. Check this spacing out, guys. We're so far away from each other. This is really going to be what allows you to break up a go. If you break up one single go, RMP becomes much easier to beat, but if you give them every go for free, you're going to lose. So let's go back. Can I not go back? Here comes the Fleshcraft. I know I'm out of range of CS. The rogue is panded, so he can't kick me. I become a bad target. Now they're looking at the druid. Do you see how my positioning is going to change as well? As soon as I see that rogue start making moves towards the druid, I need to move my character slowly a bit out here for a life grip. I need to do something to support him on this go. I know that they can't cross CC me because of the range. I see kidney, boom, instantly grip. Grip the bomb. Bomb's on global, so if you ever see a stun and you're not CC'd, I would just smash grip. Whether they bomb or not, you're still going to fuck up the rogue's rotation. He's going to have to shadow step and then maybe even misses a restun. I get a little greedy with the cast there, and the mage is able to CS me at the end of the silence. So just be really careful getting interrupted. I think I've gotten kicked more this game than I typically do in a match. I'm stunning the priest here just to keep him in the open, make him fall behind on healing, but truthfully the stun did not force that much for us. We just got fade, I guess. Either way, we're making him use mana. I do have Disperse here. I'm trying to greed it. I see that I can no longer greed, so I'm going to Battle Master. I still have Hellstone if I need it. I don't think I need to necessarily. I'll fade, fear the rogue and the priest. No damage on me. I don't even know what I Master Spelled. I don't think I Master Spelled anything. The Mind Games is basically over. If I get a Shadow Fiend on the rogue's Restealth here, it's really good. I should have maybe thrown a Fiend on him, knowing he was going to Restealth. That's a really powerful tool to stop Restealth, and it'll also do a ton of damage. So the Druid Trinkets here dispels my Maledict and is just able to heal through this go. The Shadow Fiend did come out. Oh, that's my laundry. I can't see. I think I stunned one of them just to keep him in line. Try to purge the barriers of the mage as much as you can. Unholy Nova on them both. It's definitely high value if you can get them both, because sometimes the priest will dispel and you can't really dispel both of them unless the MDs. Alter time, gonna purge, just try to pump damage, and then again space out. As soon as you're off stun DR, everybody needs to space out. The rogue's left in the open, and he just shadow steps me to die there. So that was a pretty well played match, I think. Defensively, offensively, I feel like my stuns could have been a little bit better. Check the damage out. The Warlock is gonna wreck the meters there. So let's check out another game after this. All right, here we go. I sped this one up because holy fuck, this comp is damp as fuck. I mean, we're both playing dampening comp, so can't really say much about that. But I basically get a Void Erupt while the lock is stunned. Just know that I think they can't kick when they're CC'd, so great time to cast is when locks are CC'd. If they're not playing that spell lock pet, I don't think Demo can kick unless they are out of CC. So I'm going to Pan to the Druid, standing on him for fear him out. Make sure to just dot everybody in Purge in this matchup. I think our overall goal is to make this Druid struggle with healing. So wherever we can do damage and then support our team when we need it. I just go ahead and gate away. It looks like they're trying to do some sketchy shit. And another fun fact, if you're ever just like looking for extra things to do while you're line of sighting, just VT all the pets. Like VT is a lot of self-healing. It's going to give you more insanity with Shadow Word Pain on different targets. So definitely look to just max dot everything. We clone the Druids on S. I'm not sure if I'm able to purge it. Scyfiend is super high value into this team too. Both these classes are going to struggle with killing Scyfiend. One thing I've actually done recently is started playing more Surrender to Madness into Scyfiend players. Like people I know if they're going to play Scyfiend, I'll go Surrender. That way we can actually kill it, because look how devastating it is. It's like so hard to heal through, and then once it goes away, you're kind of chilling. So get locked on Void Form, purge, purge, purge. Every single global should be purge. You can see down low what I'm doing there. Fear the Priest, stun the Druid, silence the Druid, just trying to make him fall behind on healing. Ultimately, this didn't force a lot. I think my stuns are probably better on the DPS. Here's a triple Void Form. We're going to Unholy Nova, just spread the most damage. I Master Spell our dots to keep us offensive, and once this game starts getting a little bit more dampy, you can see the Druid's mana bar getting worked, so swapping on Send Ward, hitting what doesn't have HOTS, really going to be helpful in ooming a Druid. If you just tunnel one target and you're not triple dotting, you're going to lose the matchup pretty hard. Here's a Scyfiend. Look at me try to kill it. Mind Blast, Death, Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Pain. It's still not dead. That was 4 globals, and I wasn't able to kill it, so I'm going to go ahead and play Surrender next match into this just to try to end the game a little bit quicker. Void Form, just a good sign. You need to be a little bit careful. Line of sight, Priest's going to do more damage. So Fleshcraft behind the pillar. I dot all these pets. The Lock uses kick. I stun him behind the pillar. Shadow Fiend, dot the Druid. Unholy Nova on the Druid. Scyfiend him as well, just to kind of scare him. The Scyfiend isn't the highest value. I think the best time you could use Scyfiend in this matchup is when a target is low coming off of a CC chain on the Druid. Considering that I used Scyfiend on him while he was bashed and really didn't have that many HOTS. Didn't do a lot. If you notice, my fear hits all the pets and not the Druid as well. Innervate, super important if we could purge Innervates in kind of these dampening matchups, because that could be the difference between the Druid getting outmanned and ultimately losing the game. Anytime this Druid goes for a drink, we just need to pump the damage. And even sometimes I will, just to make the Druid come out, I will stun a target just so he has to come out and dispel. And it feels shitty like wasting a go like that, but honestly it's better than him getting upwards of 20k mana and just resetting the game completely. So here's a great time to use Scyfiend. Just kidding, I get kicked at the worst time possible. Don't get kicked when you're doing your go. That's the worst thing that could happen. Have no dots on the lock because of the Priest MD, so need to definitely work on getting interrupted. I feel like that's something that's highlighted in these last 2 games, that I'm getting kicked really poorly. Something you can always improve on. And like I said earlier, just like knowing when you can cast. Like we know this lock can't cast or can't kick when he CC'd. I think his pet can still like Axe Toss, but it's not as devastating as the actual spell lock. So Void Form, try to kill this fucking Shadow Fiend, got him. Keep everybody dotted. I think it makes more sense to dump all of your like single, like dot the Druid, but I think it makes more sense to dump your single target damage into the other classes, just because the Druid's regens and self-healing is so strong. I know I used a lot of Devouring Plagues into him there, and if I had just maybe focused that more on the Priest or the Lock, we could have a little bit more pressure. Our Lock walls, big drain life. I've got a Scyfiend up, so let's see how I make use of it. Stun him, Scyfiend him. Again, maybe not the biggest fan of the Scyfiend, just because he was able to escape it and he CC'd while I'm using it, so I think we're going to try to work on our Scyfiend usage versus team. I was talking about Shadow Fiend as a way to keep people from re-stealthing, so I see the Druid trying to drink, and I think it's damp enough that we can slow it down here. So I Shadow Fiend the Druid in the room. He's not going to be able to get a re-stealth. Even if he CCs me, my Fiend will chase his ass, and I'm doing damage to him all the while, so pretty good. Shadow Word Death on the Fear. That one was just clearly on me. He was like standing at me, targeting me, fearing me. And now they're just rotting here. The Druid needs mana. I'm going to stun his NS. He trinkets to use it. Panda him out. Get a Void Erupt. Even though it's into Disperse, we just need to be in Void Form here for max dam. I should watch the cast here. Like I think that the lock has kicked now, so be careful with the instant cast. I don't know why I'm not flinging Void Bolt. Void Bolt should have been flung like 5 seconds ago. Purge the PI, and now I think we just go for the all-in on this Priest. He's got no Disperse, they have no Iron Bark. I'm in a Scyfiend here. I'm actually a big fan of the Scyfiend. The Druid has really little healing as it is. They've got basically no way to instantly kill it. A little bit of overlap on the silence and stun here, but I think we're just so hyped trying to win the game now that dampening is finally kicked in that it's hard to tell. So overall, just like some of these matchups are really hectic, like the RMPs, you gotta play perfect defensively. This one is more just doing damage. Druid healing is so good that you don't need to focus on like freaking out and trying to live every go. We'll do one more here. Let's see what we got. Alright guys, here's one last game against Melee Cleave. I know I had someone asking in my chat the other day about what to do against Ret Warrior. I feel like Ret Warrior is actually your best matchup for Shadowplay. Main thing you want to do is just space out, be able to support your teammates. You see I'm already running away from the Warlock once you get Storm Bolted. Begin to pop my damage here. Looking to assist my Druid with any CCs that are going out onto him. So we get a clone onto the Druid. I'm just going to silence the right so he can't shield and try to pop on him here. He's going to shield right out of this. He does shield. The Warrior parries as well, so now they both have defensive cooldowns up. Really important that I don't kite towards my teammates here, so I'm going to walk away. I just want to spread out. It's okay to trade Disperse and Fade on their Necro Banner and Big Wings. Those are pretty much the only things that'll save you, and the only time you really die should be during that Wings go and the Necro Banner. So as long as you can give your Druid a little bit of time to ramp some healing up on you, you should be able to survive. One thing that's really important too is to play around the gateway. Like, I've already gated this game, so it looks like we're a little bit stacked up right now, and whatever I can do to kind of separate myself from my Warlock so that if I do need to support him with a life grip, that would be ideal. I also need to be careful about not running too close to this Druid. As you see, oh, I waste my stun, that's really bad. So definitely be careful of the stun DRs. Let's see how long that stun DR was on there for. So he's off stun DR in 4 seconds, and I just waste my stun. I don't know why I did that. That was bad. Don't do that. And it looks like whoever is closest to the Druid, they're just going to hit. This is called the closest wizard strat for melee. So what I'm going to do is just pull away from the Druid, and then I can let my lock cut the Druid off, and then they'll be forced to swap back to my lock. So notice I'm just kiting away from the Druid, not really bringing them towards my Druid either, still staying a decent distance away. Pretty shitty my Unholy Transfusion kind of like bugs there and doesn't hit anyone, so we're going to lose a little bit of damage here. I do have grip for Smexon as well, and I'm communicating that I can grip him whenever, so I grip him away. They're kind of rotting here, but should be okay. Pumping damage on anybody. The game is going to be a long game this match, so it's perfectly okay to not win in the opener. You kind of want the Druid to struggle with healing. As you can see, we're rotting both targets. We're able to force Iron Bark, and basically once you see a defensive shoot out onto one of them, you just switch your damage over to someone else. So the Warrior's Battle Stance doesn't have a single hot, and we're just going to pop damage into him. I've got PI off cooldown, but I think ideally we're going to want to pair that with some other source of damage. So if I get my Unholy Transfusion back up, it'll be very helpful. I MD the Hodge, fast MD, and Siphene are the talents I'm playing, by the way. Super good into this in particular. Looks like I did PI without using my transfusion, but here it is. I sent it on the Warrior. I think the Ret's less likely to dispel the Warrior over himself. If you use the transfusion on the Ret, sometimes he's just going to dispel that. So we get Bubble, and I use my mana, so I can't really MD. Fear the Ret off me just to kind of get a global. Gateway. Staying far. The Druid is shrinking, but we're going to be able to get him out just with raw damage here. So the Ret's got no bubble. Druid gets stunned, and he's just trapped in the open. So pretty good the way we played that. I think just spread out, play well defensively, and eventually you'll find the damage that it takes to win. I mean, one of you is going to be free casting, right? So whether it's the Lock or the Shadowpriest, I think the Lock is more likely to land a kill like this. So we stun the Ret, stun the Druid, and then double drain life just kills him there. Pretty good game, in my opinion. So definitely be sure to just take notes from this game. Don't stack and be patient. Like, the game is going to take a while to win. So yep, that's pretty much it, guys. I will say that I played this comp a second time recently after I started making this video, and it was like so miserable. I really hated it. All we really fought was Rogue Mage, and it just felt so fucking annoying to face. We ended up I think we stopped queuing because it was just like every team ran away from us, and it was really difficult to win. Yeah, but if you want to see some more Shadowplay, definitely check out the stream. I will probably make the next video is going to be a damage guide on how to do the max pumps, and I think that's going to help a lot of people out, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, thank you to the people that support the stream and the YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. So see you next time. Peace.